It's been over a year since I've been in the National Stadium, almost a year since I've seen more than Hype Blast wrestle, and that's grand, honestly. Like, you might think I built my entire social life around wrestling and that without wrestling my life serves no meaning or purpose, so I'm struggling right now, but that's not true at all. Everything's great, actually. So fucking good, because indie wrestling is alive and well. And if you don't believe me, I'm going to look up all the top promotions that never needed live fans to begin with, and we're just going to enjoy them as if we're there live. And already, the first result, UWF versus POR, it's a music video. But already, we have that instant recognition, that top brand, because I recognize POR Wrestling. That logo was in the bottom right corner of a video I watched a couple of years ago where a wrestler got hit by a car. And I remember it because being hit by a car is a very serious thing. You can accrue some very serious injuries from it. So the wrestling community gathered around and supported this man, and it was really, really beautiful to see.
I don't know what happened to him. I hope he's paralyzed and fucking eating soup through a straw for the rest of his life because he's an idiot.
I also remember the lad in red taking a bump despite being about 40 years away from the car. But as I look this up, what strikes me the most is the fact that they've actually done more than one car spot. They actually remind me quite a lot of those over-the-top road safety ads you'd see growing up in Ireland, where it'll show some kid playing football in his garden, minding his own business, and before you know it, he gets fucking wiped out by by some car. And it's like,
never ever drink and drive. Could you live with the shame?
But what strikes me the most about this music video is is really the fact that they actually have got a crowd. Quite a sizable crowd for a global pandemic, actually. And I don't know how things work in America, but in Ireland, when you test positive for the virus, you have to go back and do contact tracing. So you talk to some lad from the HSE and you tell him where you've been and who your contacts are. And I can't imagine being on the phone to one of them and saying, oh, so where were you then last Saturday? Well, last Saturday I was I was doing I was watching you see I've actually never left my house ever since I was born, so that's good. Anyway, we're on a roll because I've just, in my recommended, I've seen Kraken House 2020 SmackDown Backyard Wrestling Hulk Hogan versus Zoya the Destroyer. Pretty interesting to see that Hulk Hogan is making appearances. Obviously, this must be a very prestigious promotion to be able to afford someone of that caliber.
Give it up for Hulk Hogan!
This Hulk Hogan actually reminds me of a top-class Irish wrestling promotion that we had before the pandemic called Sligo Championship Wrestling, SCW. And I've never actually been to any of their shows, but I've been keeping tabs on their social media because they've got some big-name wrestlers on their shows. So, for example, Ric Flair.
Woo! Hi guys, Ric Flair here. Going to be coming at you live. High styling, profiling, limousine riding, son of a gun.
Whoa. Ma'am, can we get some Ric Flair? Cian, we've Ric Flair at home. And this is the Ric Flair that's at home. They also had an interview with Steve Austin.
Stone Cold Steve Austin is going to walk, stomp a mud hole in every one of those guys in this Royal Rumble. You got that? Here's how it's going to go down. Whether I'm number 1, whether I'm number 20, I'm just going to come in here, I'm going to whip ass like I can, I'm going to stomp a mud hole in each and every one of these jabronis.
You jabroni! You may have thought that Steve Austin was from Texas, but I assure you that was just an act. He was actually from Collooney in County Sligo. And as the fans rightly pointed out, greater Jesse Well don't XXX, which I think is a complimentary message that just kind of got lost in translation. But SCW, with the star power that they possessed, managed to draw an actual crowd, end up on TV, and raised over $4,000 for charity. So maybe after this pandemic, we will see the return of SCW. Let's hope so. But we won't be seeing the return of this Hulk Hogan match because it's gotten unusually sexual, and YouTube doesn't like anything sexual. So moving on. EBW War Episode 7. I can't play the rest of it for copyright reasons, but it's good to see that even in the 2020s, we're still keeping up with the tradition of backyard wrestling promotions using Disturbed for everything. I think I'll go as far as to say that if you're a backyard promotion that doesn't have at least one theme song or intro song by Disturbed, then you probably can't really call yourself a backyard wrestling company. But what makes EBW stand out from the pack is their roster. I was so shocked when I started watching this and I saw that they had the one, the only Austin and I'm going to have to mute the rest of this because again they're using a banger of a Disturbed song, but it is really nice to see them use WWE wrestlers of this caliber and see how much that helps the backyard scene.
3, 2, 1, ding.
This is the wrestling I want to see. No ring, no ropes, no bell, no ref, just beautiful scenery and two of the world's best going at it. You see, this is why I don't miss the National Stadium, because in the National Stadium I'd be seeing pussies like Timothy Thatcher and Minoru Suzuki pretending they're hard men with their little strong style shit, yeah? But this is the real shit. This is the real strong style.
Oh, hit. Oh, come on. We know Austin's hard-headed.
Shibata and all them would never have the balls to be doing that sort of stuff. EBW also have their own merch site, which is quite up there for a backyard company. I'm a personal big fan of the Jagger Psycho We All Have a Da. Not everyone has a da, but I feel like for Father's Day and things like that, this sort of t-shirt might be good. Okay, I've clicked into it and apparently it's We All Have a Dark Side, which changes it slightly, but where the real shit is going down is the comment section. TWA Wrestling. Does EBW want to partner with TWA? And obviously we're seeing AEW and Impact and all the stuff that's happening there, but if this crossover was to happen, judging by TWA's page, it would be insane. Raid the Destroyer Backyard Wrestling Show episode 117. Right, so I've just watched the entire thing. There's actually no wrestling, it's just him waffling for 15 minutes. But you know what? Fair play to him, he has the longest running episodic show in history.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Genesis Part 3, our main event, our grand finale. This is going to be for all the marbles. William Barker, Jacob Wayne, one-on-one.
Now, I really don't want to state the obvious, but the person in charge of graphics here deserves a raise. Like, presentation is absolutely everything, and he's nailed it 100 out of 100, practically carrying the company at this stage.
But to come out and defend all of Crash Backyard Wrestling. If he loses this match, the company will be lost to William Barker as the president.
Look, I don't mean to be too negative because I'm a big fan of this company as well. One of the hottest indies going right through the pandemic. But one thing I don't like in wrestling is when a backyard wrestler clearly takes influence from a professional wrestler, and you can see it in everything that they do. Like, for example, here, it's quite obvious that, you know, judging by the bandana, he wants to be Homicide. And I get it, Homicide's cool, but, like, when you take that much influence from him, it's kind of obvious who you're trying to replicate in your own head. And, I don't know, maybe it's better off to just sort of focus on yourself, in my opinion.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are having very bad audio problems. So, for that reason, as you can tell, our audio for the camera was completely shit. So we're going to apologize to you and just commentate over this video so that we can try and provide some feedback on what is happening.
I'm really happy they added commentary to this, by the way, because the commentary is excellent. Like, the passion, the emotion, it really helps suck you in.
My God, he's hitting him with our table, the board. This is getting intense. Oh my God, that's a belt. Don't do this. Not the barbed wire flat. No. Oh! Ah, it's stuck on him! Oh, and he's belting him some more!
Anyway, in the end, after several attempts, the winner of the match decides to burn the contracts of the other two competitors, and like all legal documents, they were written in pen, so that's really unfortunate for them. But again, it's the comment section where shit goes down, because Xavier says, "Don't bother coming to WCEF. I'm not facing a loser." So, let's have a look at WCEF then.
Oh my, a slap to the face. And we're gonna see the flying elbow drop and hook the leg. 1, 2, 3, and that's it.
I'm not one to exaggerate, but that may be the best finisher I've ever seen. 4, 6 or 12 week gap for vaccines, arm wrestling with COVID-19 in London. Not quite the wrestling that I'm looking for at the minute, but that's there for those of you who are interested. Kurt Adams gets ambushed by 4 black squares.
If you were to join us, people would start to like and appreciate us. No way.
I'm just saying, one of those black squares had a point. Like, if he had there's only probably 5 or 6 people on the roster. It's a backyard promotion. So if everyone just joins the same faction, then you can all be friends and there's no need to fight. So maybe Kurt Adams is the dick in this situation. Chris Dynamite challenging Anthony Aries to No Love 2021. I mean, it must be pretty shit being the Marty Jannetty of your own family, but I suppose that's what Austin Aries has to live with.
I want to challenge you to no love for that piece of shit.
Okay, I've just skipped ahead, and bit of a warning. Some of you might not be into blood and you might be a bit squeamish. I don't know how this is actually allowed on YouTube. It gets quite graphic and quite violent for a backyard company especially. So just be careful. If you're a bit squeamish, I would probably skip ahead about a minute just to be safe. Lastly but not leastly, we are going to be watching a bit of Alabama backyard wrestling. And I believe this has a lot of potential because ever since that infamous episode of Superstars in Alabama where Jack Swagger and Mark Henry teamed up to beat the Ascension, Alabama has been a hotspot for professional wrestling, and people have been crying out for an Alabama-based, top-quality independent wrestling promotion, and finally it appears they have one. Because this promotion even has pay-per-views. Granted, there is no payment per view because it's free, but it still counts because there's pay-per-view in the title. Anyway, let's begin. Already it's clear to see based off his aura that this is the king, the champion, the main event player. Quite an unorthodox way to enter the ring, but whatever works. And I'm very interested to see how his opponent matches up against him. Okay, so it appears his opponents were already in the ring. That's fine, you know, I wasn't expecting that, but that's part of the excitement at Alabama backyard wrestling. Yeah, I'm really enjoying this. This is some really good stuff so far. No way, he's not actually gonna do it. No, surely not. No. Oh, wow. Oh my god. Wow, that was epic. How can people say indie wrestling is dead when promotions such as this are still running? You know what I mean? This is as fun as it gets. This is as good as it gets. Like, I'm watching this now and I'm really, really enjoying it. I miss live wrestling.